Today's video is to help you clear up the smoke. I know you hear a lot of information out there about the freight broker business. What a wonderful opportunity it is. How you can make a lot of money in a very short period of time, or how lucrative the business opportunity is. I know all of those things sound good. They brief well. And although they are true for some people, it's not the case for most people. For most people, the freight broker business is probably not going to be a business for you. And it's for some specific reasons. In this video, I'm going to show you why the freight broker business does not work for most people. So come on inside, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Now let's get down to the business. Before we get started in this video, I think it's very important, at least it is to me, to let you know that this video is not meant at all to deter you. It's only meant to inform you, to help you make a better decision when it comes down to choosing a business that's right for you. Because far too often we go out and we choose a business based on what we think, but we haven't peeled the onion back to look behind the curtain to see the layers behind. And I don't want you to be in that situation. So I want to help you to make a better decision by informing you, giving the information, giving it to you as it is, not just based on what we want it to be. So that's what this information is about. That's what this video is about. Here's a question that I want you to ask yourself. I want you to really take a good long thought in your mind to think this over. Are you like most people? And I don't mean you answering that question in the way that you think somebody wants you to answer it. Really evaluate yourself. Let's go within and look at you. Are you like most of the people? Do you do what most people do? Are you willing to put forth probably the same amount of effort that most people are willing to put forth? Or are you willing to go further than that? Really look at that, evaluate yourself, and answer that question. And if you answer that question in the affirmative, then this video is definitely for you. But it does not mean that you cannot or should not start a freight broker business. But in my opinion, these are some issues that you definitely want to address and have an answer before you get started. Up next, let's deal with reason number one, why the freight broker business is not for most people. One of the most important elements of starting a freight broker business is the time piece. If you have the time to put into a business, you can be successful. If you don't have the time, it's going to be a very good idea, in my opinion, to delay your business, to put it off until you do have the time. What happens a lot of times is people go out and set up businesses, and those businesses sit idle. They pay for those businesses. They pay up setup costs, and then they pay for the cost to operate the business all along, and the business is not making money. So that money is just coming out of your pocket, taken away from something else that you could be adding to. You might have some debt. You could be paying your debt off instead of paying for an idle business. Don't waste your time and money on an idle business. If you are not going to put the time into it, I can promise you one thing. It will not grow. There is no tax advantage to having an idle business, just having a business that's not making money. The tax advantages come when you are able to make money. People have this idea that they automatically get a tax advantage because you have an LLC, and I want you to know today that's not the case. What you probably would be better off doing is waiting until you can give the time to the business, because the one thing that I can guarantee you is that it will not grow itself. If you take a look at the major companies like Walmart, Apple, all of these companies advertise. Even though they're well known, they still advertise because it's important to get people in their doors. That's what you have to do. You have to get people to do business with you, engage customers so that they can see that you have a service that can solve their problem. Once you've given them the confidence that you can solve their problem, then they're more likely to work with you. So one thing that you hear all of the time, the reason why businesses fail is because they lack capital, they lack funding. What you don't hear is the businesses that fail because they have too much capital, too much money. Who are these businesses? These are the business owners that run behind their ideas, everything they come up with that they think is going to help get the business to the next level, all of the gadgets that they come up with. They go in there and start spending money on those things. What usually happens is you spend a lot of money on things, chasing getting the business to the next level, and you're doing that thinking that money is going to do that. In most cases, that's not going to work. It's not about how much money you spend. This is not a money spending contest. The name of the game is for a business to make money, not just to spend money, not just to spend money on the business on things that are supposedly going to help it grow. The one thing that's going to help a business grow is getting customers, doing business with those customers, providing services to those customers, providing value to those customers. That is what helps us to get out of the gate, not spending money on ideas, on things. Don't get me wrong, there'll come a time where you'll be in a good position and you can spend money on your business and it will actually help you. But when you first get started, what usually happens is you spend a whole lot of money chasing things that you think are good. And you don't really know just yet. You're just going after those things based off of, hey, this may help me get to the next level. I want you to stop, take a step back, and look at your business. Understand that this business model will work, but you have to put the time into it. You have to put the energy and effort into growing that business, and you are the catalyst. It's not about how much money you put in it. People want a business to grow. They want it to grow fast. What I want you to know is that most businesses don't grow at a very rapid rate. It takes time for a business to grow. It takes time for you to start generating income and more income. And if you, as the business owner, think that you're going to speed that up by spending money, that could happen. But in most cases, it won't. It will leave you spending a whole lot of money, hoping for things to get better, and at the end of the day, what you'll find is that you've just spent a whole lot of money and you don't have a return on your investment. How is it that two people come into the same business, one person does really well, is really successful in that business, and the other person fails? What is the difference? Mindset. And I know this is one of those areas that most people start to tune out. It's because they really don't realize the importance of how you see things, how you approach your business, the mindset that you approach your business with. You see, a lot of people think that success is a natural process. I happen to think that it's unnatural. When you look at the number of people that set goals, that set the big goals in their lives, and the number of people that actually achieve those goals, those numbers are very different. A lot of people set out with these big goals to do some big things in life, but very few people accomplish those goals. I think a big part of that is mindset. How do you see life? How do you see your business? Do you see, the glass is half full, or do you see it as half empty? How do you approach life on a day in and day out basis? What's your mindset? Are you a positive person? Because when we really start to look at life's achievements, we'll realize that life is not necessarily about what we want. We don't necessarily get what we want in life. We get what we deserve, what we're willing to go out and work for. Successful people, I've noticed, they don't feel like life owes them anything. They identify what it is that they want, and they go to work until they bring it to fruition. Another reason why the freight broker business is not for most people is because we don't understand that profits are better than wages. You see, when you're working on a job, you get paid wages. When you're working in your business every day, you get paid profits. And how profits are taxed are different than how wages are taxed. If you make X amount of dollars on your job, then you fall into a certain income bracket and you're taxed based on the income that you make. Not a whole lot of wiggle room in that. Whereas with a business, you make X amount of profit, and now you can do some things. You can do some creative things that lessen your tax burden. You see, we live in America, and this system in America is called capitalism. Capitalism always benefits businesses. At the start of this video, I ask you to ask yourself a question. Are you like most people? The reason why I ask you to ask yourself that question is because most people have one foot in and one foot out. If you are that type, if you're not fully committed, I promise you this business is not for you. If you're willing to fully commit, if you're willing to give it everything that you have, to put all of yourself into the business, then you absolutely have the best chance at making it. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Certainly hope this information has been helpful. You want to learn more about the freight broker business? Check out my free 5-video series titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It will give you a look into the freight broker business, let you see how it works before you come into it. And then if you want to learn more about how we go out and get the customers that we work with on a day in and day out basis, I'll leave a free link right here. So until next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.